can be that calming energy as long as we have tools that feed us, right? Then we can feed others. But if we don't feed us first, then feeding others does not really come into the quotient effectively. We can do it, but it's at the risk of our nervous system. It's the risk that just like, our nervous system gets taxed. So the beauty of the moon centers is they give you a treasure map to you. They show you all of these gifts as they go through. And I'm going to say this, hopefully about 3 times during this. You get to, and I'm using the word get to, not have to, you get to chart your own moon centers, because the way that I'm going to talk to you about them is probably not the way they're going to go through you. But once you've tracked yours for a few months, then you're going to have your timeline on when you are in which moon centers, which means you have a timeline of all of these gifts that get unveiled every couple of days in you and how you can use them, okay? And the beautiful thing of learning this is you get to see that each moon center has a positive, a challenged, and a neutral state. And the ultimate one is the neutral state, because that gives you the mountaintop view of your heart, right? Where you get to stand on the crescent of your heart and see from a place where you don't have a dog in the race. You don't have, an attachment to an outcome. You just get to see it and be inside of it and empower others because you feel very empowered in that place. So as we go through these, you're going to go, oh my God, what? But this is the emotional treasure map of your being. And if we, as women, feel like drug around by our emotions, sometimes, one day we're like, oh, I feel great, it's wonderful. I'm just, I feel so, energized. And the next day you're like Cruella de Vil, like, don't get near me. I don't want to talk to you, like, stay away from me. Or we get angry all the time, or we get resentful because we've run out of energy, and we're still in the place of giving. That's one of the biggest things that cause resentment in women, is when we're being called on to give from a place of empty. So I don't want you to be in that place. And knowing about the moon centers is like this magical, sacred, mystical thing that is so, on the other hand, pragmatic. And you get to let go, oh my God, how come we didn't know this when we were like 8 years old, right? I really, one of the reasons that I'm offering the certification course, at the discount that I'm offering it, is because I want more people out there teaching this, because this is a vision of mine. I want to see this taught in middle school. That, doesn't matter if you identify as female or male, that you will understand how the inner workings of that feminine being are, and you can actually know how to work with them better within yourself and within relationships with people. And it will give you this insight, right? Once you get these moon centers, you'll start to understand, what we say, where is somebody at? Where are you at? You won't have to ask that question. All you'll have to do is pull back and go, let me figure out which moon center this person's in. And then I know where to speak to them so that we can really connect. Then I can take them into a more empowered state if they're not there. Or then I can learn from them because they're in such a neutral state of this amazing moon center. So that's why I say that this sacred science is so good for, teachers and therapists and, anyone working with women and, counselors, mentors, coaches, doctors, nurses, anybody who works in any of these healing and, teaching professions. It will just open up a whole new corridor and you'll go, oh my God, this is like so great. How did I not know this before? So we're going to have time for questions and answers at the end. So if you actually find that you have a question while I'm going through this, please just, write it down. And then afterwards, we'll go through those questions and just answer as many of them as we can. Now, I'm going to talk to you about this. This is usually a course that I teach in 3 to 4 hours. So I'm not really going to be able to teach the course, but I am going to at least give you a toe dip into what the moon centers are and how they can affect you. So in my book that I've written on it, there is, if you have the book, there's a chart. And those of you that are here are going to be available, if you live in the US, to win a book. So this is the chart. And what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes for a minute. And we're just going to go through the 11 moon centers. I'm having you close your eyes, not because I'm doing something weird up here, but because you can hear better with your eyes shut. You can really, Sunia, you can take it in deeply into yourself, right? Okay. So I'm going to go from the top of your head down to your clitoris and the membranes of your vagina. This is probably not the order that they are going to be for you. And I'm going to highly recommend that you get a pendulum. And every day after you meditate, you just pull out your book or you pull out a chart with the moon centers written, and you just see which one you're in. Because at that point in time, you're more neutral and you're less apt to try to yank your pendulum around and go, I want to be in that one today, right? I really want to be in that one. So beautiful eyes closed. And let's just start at your hairline, right? Your beautiful hairline. And when you're in the hairline, in the positive, you are a visionary. You get a lot of visions, whether they're things that come to you when you're meditating or whether they're things that just come to you. You feel very close. The veils are very thin between you and other worlds, right? In the challenge state, you feel very paranoid, which is that place where you don't feel that you're connected to your visions, like you're groping for like, insecure, right? That insecurity of like second guessing yourself all over the place. In the neutral state, it's like nothing can move you. Doesn't mean you're stubborn. It means that you are solid in yourself, that you know what is and what isn't. Okay, so the next moon center is your eyebrows. And these can sound a little similar. Your eyebrows are not necessarily about visions, but dreams. Like, what are your life dreams? What are your daydreams? What are your night dreams? You're connected to your dreams. It's a great time to like figure out what the next move in your life is. Okay. When you're in the challenge state of this, it's, you feel, when you're missing your dreams, you feel awkward and like insecure. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. And in the neutral state, you're using your dreams. You're using that energy that you're being given to embody them, to go towards them, to really take them on. Your next moon center is your cheeks. And in the positive, your cheeks are like, you're a PR machine. You can be doing public relations for yourself. You can be doing it for someone else. You really know how to just put things together, put them out into the world in a very succinct and clear and connected place, right? When you're in the challenge state of this, it's a lot of flirting. You're flirting with your life, you're flirting with people. And what the flirting state does is the flirting state is like, tell me, you tell me I'm good, I'm worthy, I'm beautiful, that's what that's about, right? And in the neutral state, it is like you feel empowered and energized, radiant, right? What do we do with our cheeks? Is like, when we don't feel, we either slap them or we put something on them to make them, more colorful, more connected. The next one is your lips. And Our lips as women, you know, there's a lot of things that we want to do to just like, need to shut our mouths sometimes when we know that we're going to say something and we know it's not going to have a good outcome. And we say it anyway, and then there's a big cleanup afterwards. So your lips are really like how you bring forth your essence into the world, right? That's really what your lips are about. And when you're in your positive, you're super talkative. So the good news is great time to give a speech, great time to be on podcasts or summits or, run a course. Not particularly a great time to be around the men in your life because it's very hard to like turn it off. You just want to talk all the time. Okay. You can go from one subject to another and just talk. All right. So in the challenged aspect of this, you feel like you have nothing to say, but it's not like I have nothing to say. I know how I can be silent and projective and beautiful. It's like, I can't find the words. I don't know what they're talking about. It's the challenge is always kind of a place of like insecurity of like, don't know what I should be saying. I don't know what I should be feeling. Right. And in the neutral state, you use your words to empower others, to uplift them, to, serve them. Yes. Okay. Earlobes. See, all of these are like really sexy places, right? Your earlobes. I mean, it's like, oh, ears, So your earlobes, what do we do with our earlobes? We pierce them, we put beautiful ornaments in them, we hang things on them. And they have a lot of points for your pituitary in your earlobes as well. I ever want to just, like pull on them a little bit, not when you're pregnant, but if you pull on them, it will actually increase your Pitocin. And Pitocin is what makes you go into labor. That's why you don't want to do it when you're pregnant. But just pulling on them is kind of like, sometimes people will just do it to like take the stress out of their ears, which is great. But it also really activates your pituitary, your master gland. So the beauty of this wonderful earlobes is your values. Okay. In the positive, it's like time to reassess your values. In the challenged, it's like, you're not living to your values. All of a sudden, you're kind of like, I feel like this is important to me and that, and I'm living over here, right? So it's a really great time when you're in your earlobes to reassess your life, reassess your values. Sometimes we forget that what we wanted in our 20s is not what we want in our 30s, is not what you want in your 40s. And you get to your 50s and you're kind of like 60s and you're like, I haven't updated my values at all. I'm still living on what was important to me when I was X, Y, and Z. So it's a great time. In the challenge, you feel like you're not living to them. In the neutral, you feel like you are absolutely living to your values. Just very calm, connected. You know what they are, and you know that you're living in them, to them, in harmony with them. The next one is the nape of your neck, which is like, have somebody just come up and kiss the back of your neck. It's kind of like, you just get, goosebumps everywhere. It has a lot to do, it's right on the back of your vocal cord, so it has a lot to do with voice. In the positive, it's like you're very susceptible to voice. So if somebody has what we call a wraparound voice, my husband has one of those. It's just like, I fell in love with his voice before I ever met him. It was kind of like, oh my goodness, that voice is just like, oh. So we can be very influenced by voice. It's a great time to meditate with a chant. It's a great time to sing and chant a lot. That will really, uplift you and bring you into the positive. It's in the challenge aspect of this, you're going to be very influenced by people's voice and sometimes not pay attention to your underlying intuition that tells you, maybe not that, the warning signals that come from your intuition. You can be led astray by the voice, by the sound current at that time. And the neutral is that you really know how to use the sound current to really be connected to you and connect to others, so you can speak into people's hearts, right? Okay. Next one They get sexy, okay? They get sexy, then they get a little less sexy, and then they get really sexy. Okay. Your nipples, okay? So women have an second arc line, nipple to nipple, right? Your nipples in the positive, now get this, the positive is your overgiving, okay? So your tendency is to like be volunteering for way too many things, just find yourself like, donating to this, taking care of, everything for everybody. And what that can lead to is to dropping into the challenge state, which is that you just feel like you have nothing to give, like done, And then the neutral state is that you are very compassionate. Not empathetic and sympathetic, but compassionate. It's that deep compassion. Now, in the book and in my courses, you will get lots of tools on how to get from the challenge state to the positive or the neutral state. Because the beautiful thing with these moon centers is you don't just flatline. You get into one and you get into, you enter it in a positive state and it's like, woohoo, yay. You can dip down into the challenge state and then come back up to the positive and maybe get to the neutral. But you want to have tools to be able to do that. That's the important thing. Like, how do you get out of these challenge states? So I will give you a couple of tools, I promise. The next one is your navel. Now, we think of our navel as, it's your power center. It's your third chakra. It's your power center, right? And in your navel, it's really about energy. And those of you who do breath of fire know that when you pump your navel, there's a lot of meditations with navel pumping. There's a lot of breath of fire. There's a lot of things where you pump your navel. You're really clearing out your subconscious. You're getting rid of, you're stirring up your subconscious so that you can release it. Your navel is really about empowered energy. And when you are in the positive, you feel like very energetic, that you can tackle, things that you have put off and you can just like, yes, let's do this. And when you're in the challenge state, you don't want to get up off the couch. You're just like somebody just pulled the plug on your energy. Okay. And in the neutral state, you feel the power to show up. You can show up, for other people, for yourself. You can really show up. All right. The next one is your inner thighs. Okay, this sounds like a very funny thing, your inner thighs. What the heck? Our inner thighs are really, really important. And I want to tell you something right now that you can do in your inner thighs. Okay, so this is really good for teaching root lock as well. Those of you who teach are interested in Kundalini, put your hands together like this and put them between your thighs. This is not something you can do for someone else, but you can tell them to do it. You can be sitting, standing, doesn't matter. Put them between your thighs and then squeeze your thighs. Really, really squeeze your thighs. And what happens is automatically you'll pull up on the rectum and sex organs, but you'll also get to know where your inner thighs are and how to get to that core energy. All right. So your inner thighs are really about organization. Okay. And when you learn how to pull up on root lock, you really learn how to reorganize your being, because as women, when we're standing, we have holes on the bottom. And if you're standing like, kind of sloppy or one leg out or whatever, your first couple of chakras are wide open and you can just drain energy out and not even, be aware of it. So one great way to connect to your inner thighs and to keep that energy in so that you can actually place it where you want to place it, like pearls and diamonds, is to be connected to your inner thighs. So your inner thighs is all about organization. It's that, I remember one time our teacher said, it's harder to be good than God because there's two O's, twice as much organization in being good as there is in God. Now that's just kind of a joke, but it just tells you that organization is extremely important. When you want to get from A to B, if there's no organization, it's not going to happen. Organization meaning like, okay, how many steps is it going to take you to, get to the bathroom? How, it's organization. Some of it is really innate in us, and some of it is not so innate. So in your inner thighs, when you are in your positive, you feel really organized, that you could go out there and, redo your drawers or reorganize your team at work, or, you're willing to take on an organizational task that may have seemed monumental or that you've just been putting off and really nail it. When you're in your challenged, it's those days where you can't find your keys and then you can't find your glasses and you have no idea where you put your purse and you just, you feel discombobulated, right? And in the neutral, it's like you understand the organization, the innate organization of things, maybe even the universe, the connective tissue, and you're able to work with it, right? Just want you to know that every time I teach the moon centers, I learn something. It's just such an amazing, science. So the next one is your clitoris. And your clitoris in the positive is, it's going to sound very funny because you want to be in a group, you want to be in a connective, a community. It's you've got a lot of energy. This is not about group sex. This is about, like, how can you use that to empower? You can hold an event that you are in charge of because you'll be able to hold a whole group in a really beautiful way when you're in the membrane. I mean, when you're in your clitoris. And when you're in the challenge state, it's like you just want to be with the people that you really know and like. It's like you feel a little bit like, people would say, okay, highly sensitive people, introverts, it's kind of like you get to that place of like, well, just want to be with my friends and my people. Yes. Okay. And in the neutral state, it's like you know that you can bring that radiance, that empowered connectivity to those around you. The last one is the membranes of your vagina. I was on a radio show when I really got this one. It was, thank God it was with the woman that I was doing the radio show with. It was kind of like, oh my God, the membranes of your vagina are literally like your crystal ball. They really are. If you would consult with the membranes of your vagina before you did anything, they are so powerful and intelligent, right? I'm going to start out with the neutral because it is the most powerful neutral. The neutral in this is that anything can come or go and you're good. You're totally good. The positive is that you feel connected and you trust your own inner being. In the challenge state, you feel like a nothing or hopelessly worthless. And isn't that how we feel when we don't pay attention to our intuition and we have sex with the wrong person? We have, we let somebody violate us in some way and we go, I knew better. I knew this. Oh my God, I knew this. So that is the 11 moon centers. And as they go through your being, every 28 days, you get this dance through you, whether you know it or not. And when you know it and you track it and you can work with it, it is so powerful and so connected. And it will help you just go, oh my God, look at this treasure that I can claim. And you can also plan things out in your life. You can go, oh, I'm going to be in my inner thighs in 5 days. What a perfect time to organize my garage, my team, even one drawer, right? That thing that we, have been putting off dealing with. You can go, yes, come here, I can help you. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm willing to take any questions anybody has, and then we'll go for a few more. If you want to just, go ahead and unmute yourself and just ask a question.
What is the name of your book?
The Moon, She Rocks You.
The Moon what?
She Rocks You.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else have any questions?
Was there ever anything about the small of the back?
The small of the back. No, but the small of the back, what is it opposite of? Your navel, right?
I
Any-
mean, we
Go
used to have fun playing Find the Moon Center. And I could have sworn that was one of the places.
You know, people, these were the ones that I was taught. And the thing with doing it with a, you know, just using a pendulum and going over it and doing your moon centers is, it's really a good way to just go in and say, oh, yeah, you get out of your head. The other thing that I really love is like do it with a friend, because you can go, oh yeah, I think that I'm really into eyebrows today. And they'll say, the eyebrows sound a little more, spacey than that. Maybe they know you and they can just really understand by your voice and your everything what that is. So my birthday is next Monday. So from my birthday until the evening of the 22nd, I have 2 Moon Center courses, and then I have one that's like just a toe dip into the certification course. So they're all half price or even less. And I'm doing this because I know that these times are really challenging, and I want as many women as possible to know this science, really get deeply involved in it, and feel like they can teach it, right? Because this is not something that I can teach to the entire world by myself. So I really invite you in to be part of the Moon Centers. Go check it out on my site and know that Monday it will go on sale, and it will be like I said, half price or less, so that you can actually dive in. And if you feel like, okay, I can't quite do the certification, do the 6-week one that has some really interesting, things in it. But if you can do the certification, and we do offer a payment plan as well, then you can do that. So I am going to do something. I'm going to put you on gallery view so I get to see you all. And then I'm going to give away, but only to people in the US, I'm sorry, because shipping books out of country, I just shipped some. It's crazy. But I'm going to give 2 signed books, hard copies, to people in the US, okay? And so if you all just turn on your camera so I could see you, I would love to see you all. And if you're not in the US, just let me know that you're not, and I can still see you. Oh, hello. And you know what I want to do before I do this is I want you to just unmute yourself one at a time and just say hi, and just, tell me how you got here, because this is such a wonderful chance to get to connect with you all. Oh, Nancy, hello. Nobody wants to say hello. Gurutej, hello, darlings. Oh, you look like you're enjoying yourself. How beautiful. What a great background. I'm jealous. Can I come hang out with you?
You can. Yeah, come on over.
That's gorgeous. Oh, my goodness. I am really an ocean person. Yeah. Oh, okay. So anyone else that would like to say hello or yes? You just unmute yourself and tell me where you are and say hi and what got you here. And if you have,
I'll say hello, but I'm not going to turn my camera on because I'm in my pajamas.
okay, Nancy. Pajamas. I said at the beginning, pajamas are totally acceptable dress.
Yes, no, I'm sure they are, but I'd prefer not to. So anyway, so I just finished your course with the art of energy, and you had suggested just to hop on here, so that's how I got here.
Yes. Thank you, darling.
Yeah.
Good to see your lioness. Okay. No one else wants to say anything?
I always have something to say. Hairline in Sarasota, Florida. I know we met earlier because I was on early, but I'm in Sarasota and I know Gurunam, and I saw Gurunam who's in West Palm on the other side. She lives on the east coast of Florida, and I live on the west coast of the east coast, on the west coast of Florida. And I used to live over in West Palm, so she and I are friends. And I saw her today at another meeting, and she talked about this. And I'm a priestess, and I consider myself a moonologist. And when I heard about this, I was like, this sounds right up my alley, and it really is interesting. So I'm going to really consider taking the course. I need more information.
Yeah, if you want to take the course, at least get on my site and get the emails, and then it'll tell you more about it. I'm also doing another on Friday. I'm going to do another one. It will be similar to this. It'll just be a little bit shorter. And then tomorrow, if you're on Clubhouse, I'm doing something on Clubhouse on this as well. But if you get on my, there's videos that'll be coming out as well if you're on my newsletter list. Yeah.
So how do I get on that?
Just go to my site, and there's just a place that you can.
Is it just your site is your name?
Gurutej.com. Gurutej.com.
Oh, just the first name. Okay.
Just my first name. Yes.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
It was the thing. How can you make your site the easiest to tell people? I used to have one called the Blessing Center, and somebody said no. Easier than better. And I was like, okay.
I know. I'm ElaineSilver.com. I've had it since '98, so I know what you mean.
Thank you.
I don't think I've ever heard of Clubhouse. What is that?
Oh, Clubhouse is a new social media app that's just audio. It's just audio. So if you're interested in it, you can like go in and say, I'm interested. And then I can go in and let you in. I have some, you only can come in by being invited by somebody else, but I have some invites. So if you're interested in being on Clubhouse, do it. Yeah. People can come in their pajamas and nobody knows. The first one I did on Clubhouse, it was somebody else's thing. I was just supposed to come on and talk with her. And I was still in my robe, and I got the ping and I got on there, and it was just me and her VA, and she couldn't get on. So I ended up doing like 90% of the whole thing that we were supposed to be doing together. It was very funny. I was like, okay, my first thing on Clubhouse, I had no idea what I was doing. So yeah, it's good. It's fun. Okay, nobody else wants to say anything?
Hi.
Hello.
I am from Canada, Saskatchewan. So yeah, I am not one of the book people, but yeah.
Well, it's lovely to see you though. I lived in Toronto for 15 years. Yeah.
Me too. I lived in Toronto. Now I live in Saskatchewan, which is out in the prairies.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little town, and we just got another snowstorm today.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, God bless you.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember
winter.
being so disappointed. It's like, I grew up in Missouri, and by March, winter was over, and it was like, so I was like, okay, yeah, it's my birthday. Winter should be over, and you got another 2 months, and you're just like,
Yep, easy till April, mid-April. Yeah, easy.
Sometimes,
so, yeah.
Yes. Go ahead, ask me whatever you wanted to ask me, sweetheart.
Well, I just have been poking around and following you a little bit on Facebook and social media and stuff like that. So I saw that you had one of the Zoom calls today. So I thought I'm going to join. Yeah.
Thank you. Yay.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for being there for everyone like that.
And if you actually want to stay connected, just get on my site again and sign up, for my newsletters, and then you'll be
Sounds
able
good.
to,
Sounds good.
what's going on.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I just have one more question about the about Clubhouse. Do you have to download the app and then you ask to be let in?
I think that you do. I can't remember how I got in. It was my web person that got me in. So
Oh.
I can't remember exactly how I did it, but I think that's how you do it. Download the app and then like, just I'll check. Haven't been very good about checking about who to let in, but if I see a name that I recognize, I will do it.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness, look at this one. Oh, oh yay. Woo, who's this? Hello.
Hi, I'm Navtesh and I'm in Alaska and this is my grandson.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I've been following you either through the Kundalini Yoga. I took teacher training a few years ago. I'm not a teacher though. I took it for my just my own edification and enjoyment. And yeah, I've been following you on social media as well. And this little guy is 1 year old. And I've always been interested in how I can start tracking my own moon centers. I'm a wife, a mother, and yeah, it's good to know.
Fantastic. Yes. Yeah. Well, I'd love to have you in one of the courses in the back end. And again, feel free to just sign up on my website so that you can stay, more connected in. Yeah.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So the way I do this is I just try to like put my finger somewhere and not knowing where it is and the person's name. Then what you have to do is if I touch you, then you get to, okay, somebody who's doing a handstand. Oh, but you're in Canada. Okay. You know what? If you send me an email, I'll send you a digital copy. How's that? Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. Gurutej. Send me an email and I will send you a autographed hard copy of my book. Okay. Yeah.
Satnam, thank you very much.
Okay. And Nancy, is that Nancy? Nana, Nanny G. Say, yes. Okay, same thing. So my email address is ji@gurutej.com. Just send me an email and I will send the two of you an autographed book. Okay. And I will hope that you will join the course and, one of the courses that can serve you. And, please feel free to sign up. When you sign up on my website, you get little gifts. You get some videos and things like that. So you'll be able to, even if you didn't feel like you got anything right now, you will. And know that everything on Monday, my birthday gift to you goes on half price. But feel free to go on to my Moon Centers page. There's a video on there that you can watch that can tell you more about the Moon Centers. And, email me if you have any questions that you have about taking the course, how you can do something, how you can work with it more powerfully. I am here. Thank you for showing up. It's the first thing that you have to do. Show up, do the work, and don't be attached to the results. And when you do the work, it's like, okay, then you can really embody everything and then you can share it. So I trust that you all will be doing that, right? Okay. Blessings. Satnam.